Not that many years ago, when players shot jump shots, they were just looking to make contact with that ball. These days, more and more players are trying to make that ball, and not just make that ball, but get position after making that ball. So what used to be, let's just hit the ball, has now become, I want to make that ball. I expect to make that ball. If you don't expect to make it, you really got a little chance of making it. So I'm going to show you how I aim jump shots and how I shoot them when I'm trying to make the ball or just trying to hit it. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to practice this as well. So let's get started. If you know me, you know that I like to put shots in categories. This is what I call a category 1 jump shot. All I want to do is make contact, let's say with the 3-ball. Making contact is enough. I don't need to cut it in. I just want to keep my opponent from having ball in hand, and I get down on the shot, barely take the time to aim it, frankly, and make contact with the ball. Category 2, we have a ball that is sitting in the pocket. This is our favorite because we not only get to shoot our jump shot, we get to make a ball and keep shooting. Later on, we'll talk about playing position on these shots, but now making the same shot, basically, same level of difficulty, I get to make the 1 ball and keep shooting. That's category 2. Category 3, you saw at the opening, is to make a ball that is out in space, that is a difficult cut shot, and send it to the pocket. Category 1, just hit the ball. Category 2, hit the ball, but the ball's in the pocket. Category 3, the ball is out in space. I'm going to show you how I aim each of these shots. So, how do I aim category 3 jump shots? I aim them the same way I would any other shot. If the ball is here and I just need to hit it, I'm fine. If it's in the pocket, we already saw that. Now I have to cut it in. I have a very small target now. I have to put the cue ball right there. And I have to put the cue ball there while it's bouncing. It's going to be bouncing, guys. It doesn't stop bouncing once it hits the table. It's still dribbling along the way. So I want to get it out of the air as soon as possible. If I can get it to land in this zone and then roll the rest of the way, or most of the way, then that's pretty good. The other thing is there is still cut-induced throw, so hitting the ghost ball spot does not keep you from ending up on that short rail. The way I aim it is the same way I would if I was down on it and I was shooting it that way. I find the spot that I want to hit, I keep my cue lined up. Now I'm over the cue ball and over my target spot. I'm trying to get as lined up as possible and move the cue left and right as little as possible and give myself a legitimate chance to make the shot. Actually, I think if we try it again, I can probably make this for you. So this is a lesser of a cut, so let's just shoot it. I'm lined up with the shot, and we cut it in. So it's not a high percentage shot, guys. Anytime the ball is in space, it's going to be difficult to make. But these are the things that help you increase your odds of making the shot. And if you want to take the time to shoot hundreds of these, which is what you got to do to get really good at it, then go ahead and do it. But keep in mind that these shots do not show up that frequently. You do need to practice them, because if you don't, you're just not going to have the shot in your game. So let's talk again about how they're aimed. You find the ghost ball spot on the ball. You get down on your shot, keeping that spot in mind, and keep your cue straight, and without moving your cue to the left or right, you're going to shoot your executed jump shot, which you should learn from a previous video, and keep everything as straight as possible to make that shot. I'm going to show you in the next segment how to practice these shots so you can increase your odds of making them, and it's going to be fun. How do you practice your jump shots aiming? One of the things you can do is just give yourself some obstacles and try to hit the ball. Get your aiming system down, get everything locked in, call the ball back here. That would be nice. But that's one thing that you can do. If you do this, a couple things are happening though. You're getting your aiming in, but you are also moving your cue ball around, which means if you are using a break cloth to protect your table when you're shooting these, then you have to move your break cloth around because, you know, if the ball's over there, you're going to be moving the cue ball. So things like that. I do recommend to those of you who are worried about putting hot marks on your table, use a break cloth. Now, my cloth gets replaced on a regular basis, so I don't worry about babying the cloth. That's why sometimes you see me shooting videos with the butt of the cue on the, I know that drives some people nuts, but my cloth gets repaired, or gets replaced, I should say, because it never needs to be repaired. But it gets replaced regularly, so I might be a little bit more hardcore on my cloth. This is a workspace for me. It is not a showpiece. That said, if you're using a break cloth, using this technique, you will be moving the ball around. Also, when you use this technique, if you only have one cue ball, the cue ball might end up anywhere, but you're going to find your shot, get down on it, aim, and hit the ball. So, a better way, and the way that I used to practice, I don't honestly practice these as much as I used to. Number one, I play much better position than I did back in the day, so I don't have to shoot as many jump shots. Number two, it is one of those skills that once you have it down, you can take time off and come back and still pretty much have it down. You don't need to reiterate the skills over and over again. But this is the way I used to enjoy practicing these jump shots. I would put two object balls at the opposite end of the table, and you only need one or two cue balls, and you've got an automatic ball return system. So you're just looking to jump and land between those two balls and have the ball come back. The other thing you can do with this that I like is if you want to take the time to make sure everything is lined up in a straight line, you can aim for the diamond at the other end of the table. And this is very telling. I'll show you why. If I aim for that shot, get down on it, just like it's an important shot, and I come to this side of these two balls, I know that I applied a little bit of left-hand spin to the shot because it came off the rail with that left-hand spin. Actually, as close as I came to these balls is not bad. Keep in mind the ball is bouncing along the way, so there's a lot of factors that could take your perfectly straight shot and take it offline. But this is how I like to practice this. Another way to practice, I'll show you in the next segment. As you can see, I've got quite a few cue balls. My favorite way to practice these shots is to shoot them in the pocket. I find it a lot more rewarding to put balls in the pocket than to just split a couple balls at the opposite end of the table. And by the way, as you get better and better, you can move those balls closer together because your target in real world is going to be much smaller than that gap between those two balls. But I like to shoot in the pocket. Now, you won't see me do my entire aiming system here because I know where the pocket is. And I don't need to do as much aiming because I'm not trying to cut a ball in. So I will just get down on a shot and shoot it into the corner pocket. It is very satisfying to do this, especially if you're strange like me. Just shoot them in the pocket. Another good thing about this is you can score yourself. Hey, I made 5 in a row today, I made 7 in a row another day, whatever it is. Just down on the shot. Don't forget to do your aiming system, guys. I've been doing this for a little while. But putting them in that pocket, work from the other side as well if you need to, but that's another way to practice this. The most important thing is that you do practice it. So let's wrap everything up. Get the ball out of the air as soon as you can. Number one. Make sure that you have your technique and everything down so that you're able to do that, okay? But line your shot up. You may need to overcut it a little bit. If you just need to make contact with the ball, use the entire ball. If making the shot is not going to help you in any way because you're not going to run out, let's say there's a cluster or something somewhere else, use the entire ball. Don't show off and try to make a ball that's going to put you in trouble. Okay, guys have made great jump shots and they don't have a shot anymore. We're going to talk about playing position with these shots and how to use backspin and things like that and masse in future videos. But in the meantime, be logical about it. If you're good enough to cut them in, doesn't mean that you always want to do it, all right? Practice these shots. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you're having trouble clearing the balls, watch the previous video in the previous chapter about how to shoot a jump shot. Have a great day. Thank you very much for watching. Very satisfying.